Gavv is the latest rider in the Reiwa era that has recently ended. Before I start talking about it, without a doubt, Gavv is the best Reiwa show we've had so far. And obviously, spoilers. The premise is simple. After escaping the stomach family, Shoma works at Hapipare while also taking down the monster of the week. The monsters are called Granutes, of which Shoma is half of and is related to the aforementioned stomach family. The Stomach family is an upper-class family which owns Stomach Inc., the company that sells dark snacks, which is just an allegory for drugs, but I'm getting ahead of myself because for now, let's talk about the characters.
Kamen Rider Gavv この後スタート
I have to talk about the star of the show first, Shoma Inoue, also known as Kamen Rider Gavv. Shoma, on the surface, is the innocent rider protagonist, but he's more complex than most other riders. He was born into the Stomach family as a prisoner in his own home alongside his mother. Once their father died, the Stomach siblings went after Shoma and his mother. Though Shoma managed to escape to the human world, his mother wasn't as lucky. Throughout the show, we see Shoma fighting for the people's happiness, and at the end, fighting for his own happiness. In the beginning parts of the show, we see how much he truly loves his mother. When he was younger, Shoma's mother used to tell him stories about how beautiful her world was and how amazing the snacks were. When Shoma enters the human world, he enjoys and savors every food he eats. He even writes them down in a diary. It shows how much his mother meant to him. Shoma, though having a good nature by heart, will not blink twice when Granutes throw away a chance to change for the better. He will give Granutes a chance to redeem themselves when given the opportunity, but he isn't naive enough for it to blind him when it clearly stabs him in the back. Next up is the secondary rider, Kamen Rider Valen, Hanto Karakida. Hanto is introduced as a reporter looking for a Granute who kidnapped his mother. During the hunt, his mentor, whom he sees as a father figure, was killed by a Granute. After a surgery from a well-trusted surgeon, Hanto becomes Kamen Rider Valen. Hanto's character is intertwined with his relationship with Shoma. When Hanto finds out that Shoma was half Granute, he loses it. Even after they made up, when Shoma reveals that he was somewhat involved in his mother's death, Hanto distances himself from Shoma. It's then when Hanto started using bitter chocolate, a gochizo concocted by Suga that hurts Hanto every time he uses it. All of this culminates in a breakdown he eventually has when he realizes how he's been used by Suga and is nothing more than just a test subject for his experiments, even down to the fact that Suga made sure that his mentor was killed so that Hanto could have a motivation to fight. But because of that realization, and with the help of Shoma, he can finally start to realize not all Granutes are bad. The climax of Hanto's arc comes from when he finally meets his mother's murderer. Hanto would usually be able to kill the Granute no problem, but where it starts to get complicated is that the Granute had changed for the better. He works at a bakery with a mother and a boy who sees him as a father figure. And at the end, Hanto spares him. The Granute who made him start this whole journey of revenge in the first place, he spares. It's because of people like Shoma and Lakia making him realize that everyone, even Granutes, can change. Moving on to the tertiary rider, Kamen Rider Vlam, Lakia Armaga. Lakia is actually a full Granute. Born in poverty, Lakia lived a somewhat peaceful and hardworking life with his brother Komel. One day, Komel got involved with the Stomach family, and when he tried to quit the line of work, he was assassinated. Lakia turns himself to the Stomach family, planning to work for them only to stab them in the back later on. And it's because of the Stomach family, Lakia gets his transformation device. Lakia's guilt for his brother is the most relatable. The way it breaks your family and the anger at the system that caused your brother to be like that in the first place. All the emotions are way too real. Lakia had to come to terms that Komel did something bad and he accepts it. He accepts his brother's mistakes because he knows that before his end, Komel tried to do the right thing, and to Lakia, that makes Komel a good person. During the human world, Lakia finds himself in the company of Shoma, Hanto, and Sachika. In the beginning, he was cold and distant, but as the story progressed, he grew attached to them. So much to the point that he didn't want Sachika to know about his past actions. He learns not to see humans as just cattle, but actual beings with thoughts and feelings. It makes him sacrificing his happiness with his newfound family all the more bittersweet, so as to not repeat what happened to Komel, but to protect human life as a whole. Lastly, Sachika Amane, the heroine of the season, and the shop owner of Happy Pare. She's mostly the reason why the trio sticks together with her bubbly personality and her willingness to help anyone in any situation. Her role is to help most of the cast figure out their inner problems and help them be better. I know there's some controversies about her not being a female writer after every other series after CEO having a female writer. But to me, it doesn't really matter if there's a female writer or not. If the character has a purpose aside of being a writer, that's fine. Even if characters aren't writers, that doesn't mean they're unimportant. Now that we've covered the characters, let's talk about what makes Gavv truly special, its themes. The dark treats are drugs. It's one of the most in-your-face allegories in Rider, and it works. It helps the younger audience learn about drugs and how it changes you to be an addict and how messed up the system is. One of the other themes of Gavv is classism. Have you noticed that the Stomach family and the president are able to summon minions, but Lakia isn't? It's because Lakia is of a lower class than them. In medieval times, people who were fat symbolized that they had wealth and power. It's why when the president died and Lango took his place within the power vacuum, he was able to run the company by himself without his siblings. There's also a nuance about redemption, again, to Hanto's mother's murderer and how he changed. The show doesn't force Hanto to forgive him, it was ultimately his choice to forgive the one who took his mother away. There are other instances where granules are given a choice to change. Some don't and choose to be consumed in their gluttony, but some do, like Uncle Dende. When Lakia finds out that Uncle Dende was the reason why dark treats were even made in the first place, Uncle Dende lets Lakia vent his frustrations out on him. He understood that because of him, families were torn apart and he accepts the punishment that Lakia handed him. On a positive note, the music. The music is one of the most unique in Rider, especially Shoma's Rider theme, with what is essentially his Gochizo singing. Honestly, just listen to like the OST. It's really good. I definitely recommend anyone to watch this show. It has a great cast and has an interesting set of villains, drama that would get anyone hooked. Before I go, you should check out the video on screen. I'll put the link in the description. It's really good. Really recommend it. Yeah, that's all. Thanks. Subscribe, like, all that shit. Thanks.